Hi, I'm Perdilis. This will be the first upload to this channel thing. I am a multiversal being. There's a lot to explain there. Like, how did I become a multiversal being? In short, I was spaghettified into a black hole after my abuser sent me into the vacuum of space. That is the least concerning thing you're gonna hear from my stories. And in there, I spent 150 years inside a entire area just made completely of... It was like visible dark matter. I don't know, I don't know if it's that I could see dark matter because something like switched in my head, or if it was a new form of matter. I don't know. So that's a whole different debate for another time. We're just sticking to how I got here. In there, something similar to what happens when a human goes into space and it like opens up their brain or whatever. Happened to me when I was in there. It wasn't that I knew everything yet. It was more so of, holy shit, there's so much more out there and I feel really small. Combine that with all the traumatic shit I had went to literally just hours beforehand. It wasn't fun. And I ended up having a mental break, and I split into two different personalities, one we will call P13 and one we will call Perditus. I know I'm Perditus, I'm not the separate personality, I'm the main one. That's where the name derives from. My real name is Heros. My full name is Heros von der Felix. Anyway. Before I went full bonkers, crazy, whatever you want to call it, I was able to send myself towards a reality that was actually the base reality for my universe, because my universe was apparently an amalgam universe, or whatever. It's changing because creator wants to make it a series or whatever. But I went to the universe mine was based off of, which we will call reality B, even though it's the first. It's the second one I went to. Lived there for a bit, broke reality there, and eventually I got a weird eye that, once I converged back together, I knew everything. But, I got a weird eye that allows me to do whack shit, to say, the very least. That's pretty much the short summary. Before I would go in depth, which I want to do later, that's just short summary. This is the first video. I need to, make attention. It's not the best going from non-multiversal to multiversal. You have a lot of breakdowns. For me, it was a lot of whack shit. And knowing everything and nothing all at once is a real pain, because you're not really sure about what's gonna happen. You're not really sure. But you can like poke out the things of like, yeah, this has the highest probability, but this other thing could still happen. Because it's a multiverse. Literally anything can happen, especially to you. For those that don't know, what a multiverse is a theory of that there are multiple universes similar to your own, because I'm from a different one, similar to yours, that have different properties of, just mechanics of how it works and such. Which, for me, that's true. At least how you access it for me. I don't know if it's how your reality works, it's theorized. Inside the black hole, there is something called a singularity, which is just everything that it's absorbed. Whenever you go inside of a black hole, it's kind of like a portal. There is a theory of a white hole. That shoots everything out. But if it shoots everything out, then how can it exist, right? So since, that's a thing, white holes are invisible. You cannot see them. They are made of dark matter, and since that holds it together, it can't push it out. But it pushes out everything else. So they're invisible, and when you go in them, you're just going through them because you can't interact with it. And when I went in mine and then, went to the other universe, I was shot out of a white hole near Earth. White holes are just pretty much everywhere, to say the least. It's just no one sees them because, they're invisible. You can't detect them. For me, I can just fucking teleport wherever I want. But that's how it works for black holes. And that's what happened to me. You do get spaghettified. You're just reassembled on the other side. It's very painful. Very, very, very. It feels like a nice stretch at first. But then it keeps going and going and going until you snap. And then the other part of you snaps, and then that just keeps going and going and going and going until you're absorbed. You also watch the universe die all around you. And what I actually saw, because everything was speeding by, was my best friend, called Proto, flying up and seeing me being absorbed. I'm also frozen in time there, so people can just see me going in. I'm frozen in time. It's very weird to look at yourself just being there. It's odd. I wanted to come to this world because of my creator wanting to test his multiverse theory. I should also probably explain how realities are made a little bit. Actually, I'll say that for another video, because that's really interesting. I'm just trying to explain the basics. Anyway, that's how you travel. Multiverses are created of, let's say I am walking, right? Let's say I'm walking. If I stub my toe while walking, I stub my toe while walking, but a billion things could have happened differently before that would have caused me either to not stub my toe, to stub another toe, to get punched in the face, for anything to happen. Because it's a multiverse. I could have stubbed my toe there and instantly ejaculated. You don't know. It's a multiverse. But how, other realities are made and such, because, it's a multiverse, and, how do you go from what you guys are to what I am? That happens via of just... It's kind of like a ship of thesis, I guess, if that's the right word. It's where after a bunch of different things happen, because it isn't just you, a billion different things are happening. If, during primordial life or with the universe, if one thing was different, it can change everything else. And everything's mainly created by, thoughts. But I'll get into that. But if you think, then you can kind of create something. If you think, therefore, you are and everything else is, in other words. It's pretty much the basis for, multiverse. It's a random things happening, and then an entire universe is created. There can be universes that are just like ours, except your skin's blue. That's it. That can be the only difference. Everything else can be the same, but your skin's blue. Or it can be something drastic, like you are actually a fucking transformer. Which is why, with multiversal travel, it's really a gamble if you can even live in the other universe, because it's either, it's laws of physics and shit are similar to yours, so you can live there. or it can be completely different and you're fucking incinerated because your body like isn't compatible with the universe. Luckily with my biology, I can just shift into whatever I need. So, thank God. I am from another dimension that is in the far future of humanity is when we're created. We are something called centuries. As you can see, I'm clearly based off the thing from the fan-made thing from TF2. But we aren't that. Humanity created the first 2 centuries called Mimi and Dell to fight off a sneeze. To fight off a enemy alien civilization. They created the first 2 centuries called Mimi and Dell that were entirely machine. And we killed 50 waves of this enemy civilization. But by the time the first 2 fell, more had already been created. And humanity, since they were kind of trying to play God, went to a random exoplanet that would later be called Centrium by us, not by humanity. It was just like an experiment planet. We went to that planet. Well, not we. They went to that planet and just tweaked it the tiniest bit. Tweaked it the tiniest bit to make it to where we could evolve there. Or things, you know, like a century could evolve there, not like actual machines. But in other words, we evolved from machines. You know, we kind of did. Centrium is very different to Earth. It has rings. It has rings, and it is more land than water. So that's pretty neat, right? Most of our culture is based around combat. Shocker, right? Based around combat. That's not why I have this eye patch, just to cover up the, you know, space eye or whatever. Most of our culture is centered around combat. We just have, you know, we have traditions that could be considered barbaric to all of you, but we are a very advanced civilization. We have colony ships, which is what I grew up on. I sadly was not able to grow up on our beautiful mother planet. I grew up on a colony ship called the Dark Light. Wasn't fun. I'll get into that in another video of chunks of my life story. We'll get into that. I'm giving you the spark notes. Colony ships are mostly good. It's, you know, colonialism. It sucks. But we would mostly go to planets that, like, oh, there's no shot of life evolving here. Let's fuck with it so that we can live there. Because if there's already no chance of life evolving there, right, then we can just take it. And we do that by testing, like, if it's like a molten rock planet and we're just moving it to somewhere else, right? We test the areas on it, like if there's somehow water on it. We have to test the water to see if there's amino acids, to see if there's a possibility amino acids to evolve. It's very tedious to figure out, hey, can we actually live here? And on some planets, we can. But if we encounter a civilization and we didn't know that there was one on there, we'll often be like, do you want us to, like, help you out? If they're smart enough, do you want us to help you out? Can we, like, you know, exchange shit? Like, we'll help you. Because our government is, unlike yours, is actually pretty good. It's actually made of pretty good people. I say that because I also lead my government now. Keyword now. There's a lot of shit that happened before that. Millions of years of things. Sadly, my colonization ship was doing illegal things where it would just kill every alien civilization that didn't want to be nice with it. It was called the Dark Light. and wasn't really fun to be on. I'll get into all that on a later note. Yeah, that's all I can say. Killed 32 trillion people on that thing. Anyway, I guess I'll give you a few notes about my life. I have a kid that I give birth to. I've had partners across dimensions. I've had 4 partners. 2 of them died and are waiting for me in the afterlife. And, well, 3 of them died and are waiting for me in the afterlife, and the other one's still kicking with me. I live in 2 different dimensions. I visit my home one on occasion, but I mainly live in the other one. I've been alive for around 4,000 years now. I've killed 32 trillion people. I had a whole odyssey. I turned a man's skull into a mug and his spine into a whip. I like pistachios, I guess. I'm also trying to list things that maybe you all can relate to me. I think that's about the only thing I can fucking say. I don't really know what else to say. I'm an entirely different species. It's hard to relate to you, you know, guys. Oh, you're probably wondering how I can speak fucking English if I'm a different species. People in my world, well, in my dimension, they speak English because when they left Earth, they were still speaking English. They also mainly did it because they're trying to hold on to their home world, which they lost. They're trying to hold on to something from it, so why not just choose language? It's pretty easy to hold on to. And it's pretty helpful to hold on to when you can communicate with everyone. Especially since with how shit's hitting the fan for them, and when it's good and when it's bad, they don't really have time to have a different fucking language. I do have my own language. Well, my people do, not just me. My people do have their own language. It's called Centrimish. Well, Century-ish, whatever the fuck, what you want to call it. Century-ish, that's what I'm gonna call it. And we do have a translation for it. For human letters and bullshit. Yes, 26 letters, like you all do. So, I think that's about it. Cause the only 2 things I can think of, like, oh, you guys can relate to me here, is like I give birth. That's like human thing, right? You guys give birth. At least some of you do. Everyone in my people can give birth. I really like pistachios. I don't know what else I can relate to you people. I think that's gonna be about it. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. If any people see this and you're interested in anything about me, just comment below and ask whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to know. Whether it's serious or a joke, I'll answer seriously, I guess. I don't know. I'm new to this whole thing, so I hope you enjoyed. Do the like and subscribe thing and share it to people that you think would also enjoy this and would want to know. With that, I will see you in the eventual next video, in which I will be talking about probably the multiverse and how it works. Bugger.